Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And today, we're looking at the headline, or the article, or doing a general overview of the Errol Spence situation. Or is there a situation? Is it saga? Or is it a whole bunch of nothing? Or is it a combination of all the above? Well, right now, I'm going to attempt to unravel whatever we're trying to unravel. Okay, where do we begin? Let's start with the news. Let's start with the reality. Let's start with that which we do know for sure. Errol Spence Jr. set to face Danny Garcia, his first fight back since his horror car crash. Okay, so that's going down in November. We can put that to one side as knowledge, something we do know. So what else do we know? Okay, well, we also know that Errol Spence made headline news in WBN, kind of controversial site, and they ran with the headline, "Fans seriously worried about Errol Spence's mental state after gun video." Okay, so the mental state of Errol Spence Jr. being questioned here by WBN. So let us proceed to the video in question. So let's have a listen to what Errol Spence had to say.
Fuck with my fucking I would have thought it was sweet, right? Fuck with my fucking cows. I would have thought it was sweet, right?
Okay. So
fuck with my fucking cows.
Okay, so I don't know what the first thing he said was. There's a Dallas boy. Dallas boy speaks with a drawl. Dallas drawl. Yeah? Plus he got them new teeth, so it wasn't particularly audible or clear. So I can't comment on the first thing he said. But the second sentence.
Fuck with my fucking cows.
They effed with my effing cows. That was the second sentence. Okay, so two sentences, the first of which were hard to decipher due to Errol's southern drawl. And the second sentence was, "They effed with my effing cows." And then he goes on to show his weapon. What is that, an AR-15? Some people are saying it's an AR-15 machine rifle, gun rifle. So we know that something's effed with his effing cows or calves, and he's out to shoot them. Okay, we also know that he's on a quad bike, some kind of quad bike, yeah, and four-wheeler, all-terrain thing, and we know that it's raining. It's raining. He's got his rifle. He's on a quad bike on his property. So people have questioned, well, hold on a second, is he allowed to drive? Is he allowed to drive? Well, yes, he's allowed to drive on private property. That's his property. Texas, where is it? Dallas, yeah, they got firearms license. I'm sure the piece that he's displayed is a license, so it's legal to drive on his farm with a firearm, and it's probably legal to go after whatever it was that killed his calves. Okay. Got a coyote problem on his property, and in America, when you have coyotes on your property, private property, your own farmland, I believe you are licensed to kill coyotes. They're regarded as a pest, and so there doesn't appear to be any illegal activity. But let's head back to the WBN Post article to see what all the fuss is about. Okay, so you recall fans seriously worried about Errol Spence Jr.'s mental state after gun video. Is it the fans or is it WBN who have a questionable reputation themselves? There is the side piece on the quad. Okay, so alright, the article says, let's line this up a little bit. Okay, so the article says welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr. has been posting more videos than usual of late, some of which have fans concerned about his mental well-being. Okay, so they go on to talk about the post July 29. Says it saw Spence riding around. Did we actually see him riding around? Did we see him riding around? I didn't see that. I saw him stationary. You don't know where he was. You don't know he was riding around. Okay, with a loaded AR-15 rifle. Spence claimed it was due to coyotes trying to kill some of his calves, although the nature of his social media activity has caused significant worry. Okay, I don't see the correlation between the first sentence and the second sentence. Strange. Replies to Spence immediately compared him to Jermaine Taylor, who had a meltdown in 2014. Taylor was given a suspended 19-year prison sentence at the time for allegedly shooting a family member. That's interesting. Comparing shooting coyotes to a family member. That's interesting. Some believe Spence is not 100% since his near-death experience, with one stating, "I really hope he is still the same after the accident." Okay, they go on to post what you just saw on his Twitter. Let's see where this ends. Oh, they're going to some posts. Okay, I'm not going to read the post that they went into. Fans seriously worried about Errol Spence. Okay, so is there foundation? What is there actually to be worried about here? What's the cause of concern? Is it because it's raining and he hasn't got a top on? I presume it's warm, yeah? So if it's raining and it's warm and you're on your own property on a quad bike, do you really need a vest? Are you mad if you're without a vest? Are you crazy if you're without a t-shirt? I recall Joe Rogan talking about the fact that he hired a paid hitman, a coyote hitman, to get on his property and kill the coyotes that were killing his chickens. You know Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience, yeah. So he said that on his podcast. He also said prior to that, he'd stayed up. He'd set up a post with his rifle and his ammo. Probably had the rifle on a tripod. He said he set up post waiting for the coyotes that were killing his chickens. Set up post, waiting for them. This doesn't seem much different. That doesn't seem much different to this situation. You've got your animals, you've got your livestock, and you got predators coming to kill your shizzle. Nah, what would you do? Wouldn't you be out there? If you came out one morning and found one of your calves mauled up, bitten up, chewed up, how would you feel? Wouldn't you feel some kind of way? Would you not? Okay, so we see that his farm, don't know how long he's had it. I don't know how long he's had the farm. I get a feeling it's relatively new, although I don't know, so I can't say. But you can see that's the rural setting. I know he was speaking of buying a place, 70 acres, 20 minutes out of Dallas. I don't know if he bought that, or I don't know if this is that, or whether this is what he had before. But you do see he's in some nice country for him and his family. See horses, you see cattle, you see some dogs later on. So he's a country boy. I don't know, probably a city boy, but always felt an affinity with the country. So now he's got a little bit of a country situation going on. His daughters, calls them cowgirls, leading the horse. Seems like a well-behaved horse. Lovely, beautiful rural setting. Living the cowboy life. It's probably one of his calves he was talking about got mauled up by some coyotes. How would you feel? Looks like a very healthy environment. Would you go for your AR-15? Would you go looking shirtless in the rain on your quad bike, on your ranch, to the coyotes that mauled up your calves? Does that make a man mad? I don't know. Have your say. It's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. Don't forget about the live shows. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. What else do I normally say? I can't remember. Okay, Mr. Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, and I'm out.